Hello and welcome to episode 262 of Checkpoint Chat. My name is Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined by Matty Figuera.
I can't keep a straight face.
What?
I'm just thinking of the conversation we just had.
So there is the potential that this episode might never come out because I might die on it, quite literally.
You never know, though.
My arm is feeling very numb. Well, yeah, that's true. I'm talking to the void now because if this actually does happen, then rip Sandy. I don't know. I've always heard the thing like if your arm feels numb or you have pain in your left arm, you could be having a heart attack.
Yeah.
So that might be happening
Could
live. Be. Good thing we don't stream because I think this would be against Twitch's like terms of service or something. Dying on air.
Oh yeah, but I mean, how would you know? So like, I didn't plan to die on air.
I mean, I don't even think you're allowed to say like die or killed on air. So I just unalived myself or something, or just unalived. Yeah, that thing is so stupid, I think. But anyway, it is what it is.
Is that okay? Well, we going on a tangent. Is that why people say unalive?
Yes,
because it goes against like terms of service of some platforms.
I think that, and also just like algorithms latch onto that thing, so it like nukes SEO or something like that. But that's like what I've heard is like that's why people say that.
Today I learned because I always thought unalive is a very dumb word. There are better words for unalive, like dead.
So you'd never say on a stream like I killed
Deceased.
myself. You'd just be like I unalived myself.
Okay, that checks out. My God, that is.
I didn't kill stormtroopers in Star Wars Outlaws. I
unalived them. So yeah, back to the topic at hand. We were just talking, and then it was like a very serious moment where Alessandro was like, "Okay, if I collapse, just phone Shadi." I was like, "Hang on."
From the UK,
hang
she
on.
gets an
In all
international
seriousness,
call.
let me just make sure I've got her number.
We take it very seriously, podcasting. Yeah, I'm not going to leave, seek medical attention. I'm just going to keep going. Honestly, I mean, I'm being like facetious. I don't think anything's going to happen. It just feels fucking weird. It's just strange. Anyway,
it might. You're right, though. It might be the heat. I mean, it's like what 30
I think it's
something
the
there.
Fuck, it's killing me. It's like, yeah, what is it now? It's 10 a.m. and it is 30 degrees. It is like absolutely. I have never experienced heat like this in Johannesburg ever. So I reckon in the next 10 years, this place is going to be uninhabitable.
Hey, move to the UK.
Do you know if you go near the Kruger, like Hoedspruit or Nelspruit, it is 40 degrees. Like, and not just one day, like, oh God, it's quite hot today. It is like consistently 40 degrees.
My one boss made a very good point. Like earlier this year, joked because we were having like very hot weather in the UK. I know, surprise. But I mean, this is like going from winter to spring. I think Scotland had record high temperature at one point this year. And he joked, he's like, buy a property in Scotland. It's cheap. I mean, 10, 20 years, it could be like the next Mediterranean. The way the temperature is increasing.
Yeah, true. England's going to be the next summer locale. That's just where we are now. And like half of Africa is going to be arid desert, like Mad Max style.
I know.
I mean, there was that massive earthquake in California that nearly hit the San Andreas fault line. Like the day that happens, rip San Francisco, rip most of California, like just overnight gone.
So what would happen? It would just like, are we talking tsunami or just earthquake?
Like a catastrophic earthquake. Like it'll hit the fault line and the earth will just open up and swallow everyone.
Oh, now is that just San Fran or like everyone on the planet?
That fault line is huge. It runs through like a lot of California. It would be like absolutely devastating, and like everyone just says it's a thing that is going to happen one day, whether in our lifetime or not. But every time there's an earthquake there, it's just like fucking touch and go there. Yeah. Anyway, San Francisco, what a place to live.
Yes, what a
what's
great
happening
theme
in
for this episode, just death.
But you know what's happening in LA this week, this coming week? Sure, fucking segue. Champion here. The Game Awards, Geoff Keighley's, I think that's the 10th year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Game Awards happening. Good old Keighley's hosting a 3-hour show. Jesus Christ.
World exclusive.
It's happening on Thursday evening in the States. So Friday morning here, I think at like 2 a.m. midnight for Matty. Matty, sure.
Matty.
Matty. Yeah, and
That's
like
still too
we
late.
always do every year, we like going through the categories and having fun trying to predict who's going to win. Again, not who we think deserves to win, who we think is going to. This is a prediction show. This is competition.
Yeah,
I don't care about accuracy here
who
or
won last
feelings.
year? I think
it was you.
I think I won last year. You won the year before. So it's
that sounds right.
Yeah, it's pretty even.
I mean, there's no way of knowing. We don't have recorded proof. There's no way of knowing. It's lost to the ether. It's actually impossible.
Just gone. With the wind.
It's just gone.
Okay, fine. We'll never know.
So there is a lot of categories here.
So we're just gonna fly through them.
Yeah, there's also some fucking nonsense categories here. So I think we're gonna go from the bottom upwards. Well, you created a really nice list. There's some on this list that you just haven't listed.
Yeah, like the esports stuff. I'm like, nah, we're not gonna do that.
Okay, you've got best esports game, but you don't have like the team or the player of the year. Yeah, okay, good. Fuck that shit. So we'll start off with the least interesting one. Best esports game.
Where is that? This window is so small on my screen. Best action game, best RPG, best fighting. Where is? Oh, there. Okay. Good God. Sorry. This is for the live viewers. I'm actually showing the website. So I have to look for the bloody actual website. Okay. I'm ready.
So the categories, the nominations are Valorant. What? Mobile Legends Bang Bang. What the fuck is that?
I have to look that up. Not now, but I have to look it up at some stage.
Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Okay. If that wins, fuck. League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike 2.
I love that you read that right to left.
I'm reading off your Excel spreadsheets. I have no idea what they are on your screen.
Oh,
if you think it's small for you, I literally cannot see it on the screen you're sharing to me.
But that's so weird. Thank you.
Wait, let me load up the actual website.
It's alphabetical on my sheet even. Like, have you filtered yours the wrong way around? Like, what's going on here?
Maybe.
That is hilarious.
I don't know. On mine, that's just how it comes up. I don't know.
Let me see.
I'm just... Oh, it's alphabetical going bottom to top. I was reading top to bottom.
What?
I don't know. Counter-Strike is the lowest one on mine. Oh, do you know why? I know why. This is
Big brain moment.
Web designing 101. My window's quite small, so when I hit the drop down, it opened upwards, not downwards. And because of that, it reverses the order of the items in the cell. So it opened upwards because if it opened downwards, it would be off my window. So
it's very confused.
Smart. Okay, I'm just going to open up the actual website so I can see what you're seeing.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you got to do both. You got to vote.
Shit.
Yeah, well, when I looked it up, sorry, we've derailed our own episode, but when I looked up the website, Geoff Keighley has not updated the metadata because it's like the Game Awards 2023, and I was like, that's the old site.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
That is the site. Okay, the data is just old on that.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
He's a madman, this guy.
Sign in with your certain. No, I'm not signing in. Okay, so we've got those games I just read out. What do you think is going to work?
So I looked this up out of interest. You know that last year Valorant won, and the year before Valorant won.
Really?
So I think I'm gonna go for the trilogy. I'm voting for Valorant here. That was my prediction.
I feel like none of these have really made a big. Did Counter-Strike 2 come out this year or last year?
I think it was last year. Valorant, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna say because of recency bias and the way things are in people's heads, because this is voted for by a panel.
Yeah.
Like 90% of it's determined by a panel of like journalists and content creators and all of that, and then 10% comes from the audience. So trying to get in the mind of especially journalists who, you know, the large majority don't really stay up to date with a lot of these. So recency bias, Arcane, League of Legends. That's where I'm going.
You're going League of Legends. Okay, I did consider
League of
that.
Legends.
I did consider that.
Most anticipated game. Let me open it up on my side so I don't.
So this is a tricky one because
it is.
So let's just this is obviously games people are excited for. So the nominees are Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotei, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wild. Sorry. So
it's one game winning, yeah, for sure.
This is a Grand Theft Auto 6.
There's literally no other game on this list that will win.
The thing is, I think it could be like a Monster Hunter, but for the memes, it has to be Grand Theft Auto. 100%.
It 100% is going to be Grand Theft Auto. Like, the only other one that maybe has a chance is Death Stranding 2 because Kojima, but GTA 6 for sure.
Yeah, I'm there. Sure. It has to be GTA 6. Okay.
Best adaptation. We've got Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles. There was a TV series, Knuckles. I was just like, that's a character. What are you talking about? Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft.
I mean, you want to talk recency bias?
I do, but I feel like there's been a lot of criticism of Arcane after the show came out.
But it's still a good show.
Oh, 100%. Like, one of the best shows I've watched this year, but I feel like the praise isn't as universal. I definitely think it's between two shows here.
It's Fallout
Arcane and Fallout. Yeah. I'm going to go Fallout.
Okay, I'm going Arcane.
Okay.
You'll look back on this day and think, damn, what was I thinking?
Honestly, I could.
It's easy to look back at predictions and votes like, oh man, like why did I vote for that? Because even last year's a good example. Like, to me, what were the two? I know Baldur's Gate won, but there was another nominee. I was like,
I think neither of us voted for Baldur's Gate.
No, and I was like, but in hindsight, I'm like, it was so obvious.
It was Baldur's the Gate game, the game everyone was surprised by and loved. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly.
It's
best multiplayer, which I guess is games that aren't esports.
Yeah.
I was right. Yeah. Your turn. Go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Yeah, well, this is for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platforms. Your nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I am going, based on my own experience, for Helldivers 2. Just because I feel like it's the indie darling. Well, it's not an indie game, but it's like the double A darling on this list. And I suppose Warhammer is as well, but Helldivers, man. Some of the best times we had in that game.
I think Call of Duty, like if Call of Duty wins, I wouldn't be shocked because like that multiplayer is getting so much praise.
Yeah.
But I think Helldivers 2 was like a flashpoint, and I think that will come through. Yeah, I definitely think Helldivers.
This one was tough.
Best sports and racing game, which is still the
dumbest.
This category shouldn't exist anyway. They basically combine them because there's not enough nominees to support a singular category for each. Anyway, F1 24, which was horrendous this year, like one of the worst F1 entries in recent years. Like, why is this here? EA Sports FC 25, so what FIFA used to be, I guess. NBA 2K25, Topspin 2K25, WWE 2K24. I literally do not recall anyone talking about any of these games.
So can I tell you, I did what I do in situations like this. Like, I don't know how to choose. Let me see historically who has won in this category. And it's all like last year, Forza Motorsport. I'm like, okay, that seemed obvious. The year before, Gran Turismo. I'm like, okay, that seemed pretty obvious. The year before, Forza Horizon. Like, none of those quality games are here.
So, that's why this category is complete. They put in a racing game because F1 24 was like the only racing game that came out this year. You know what I mean?
So with that in mind, that leaves me with like your old faithful FC 25. I'd say.
Yeah, probably. Hey,
It's a tough one. This is one of the toughest categories.
I know NBA always gets praised, but then gets absolutely killed by its like microtransactions thing. But I seem to recall that the game itself this year was pretty good. I'm gonna go NBA just because.
Okay, you're going NBA.
Honestly, I do not know.
You got to split the vote here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going FC. Okay.
Best sim/strategy game. Oh, it's your turn.
Oh, is it my turn? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
So this is the best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. I think they must add that onto everything, apart from the mobile category.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So the nominees are Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kinetsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. I mean, I know of like 3 of these games. I know
Unicorn Overlord made a big splash early this year because it was a vanillaware game. It was kind of like an auto battler with an RPG. A lot of people talking about it earlier this year. I straight up forgot Atlas. It came out this year. Well, yeah, it's Atlas and Vanillaware who did like what is that thing called? Aegis Sentinel, I think. I don't know. Vanillaware's been around for a while. Frostpunk 2, I feel like came and went.
I'm also
didn't really stick around, which is a pity. I still want to play it, but it feels like it really didn't capture the hearts and minds like the first one did.
Yeah,
Manor Lords was like big on Steam, huge on Steam. So that's what I'm gonna go for.
Manor Lords.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Frostpunk 2 just because it's the one I actually probably know. Age of Mythology, I also feel like, I mean, if you don't know, that's like the Age of Empires peeps. It's like the same kind of game, just with, you can have Zeus. And mythological creatures. I think it reviewed pretty well, but like, I don't know, I haven't really seen conversation around it. So, but I'm gonna go with Frostpunk 2.
Yeah, I think Frostpunk would be the next choice because it's just like probably the one out of the list that most people have played. So yeah. Best family game, which again, what is a family game? Who knows? Guess this is best game that is rated E for everyone.
No, well, Geoff Keighley says it's for the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform.
All of these are single player. Oh, except Super Mario Party. Whatever.
But it is like, what?
Your nominees: Astrobot, Princess Peach, Showtime, Super Mario Party, Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire. Astrobot.
It has to be Astrobot.
No question.
If Astrobot doesn't win this, then I'll eat my hat. And I don't.
I mean, they could do this because they do this a lot, where they like use a category to give an award to a game that definitely won't win anywhere else. And I think if that's the case, like Princess Peach would win here, even though like I feel like no one spoke about that game when it came out.
No,
but I think Astrobot is too big. It's way too big. Yeah.
Okay.
Best fighting game.
I mean, the description for the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. So doesn't say irrespective of genre or platform though.
That's true. It also doesn't specify that it has to be melee combat.
Yeah, what is going on here? So your
Helldivers could technically win here then,
So nominees are Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8.
I also think this is a pretty easy one, and I think it's going to go to Tekken 8.
I also vote to Tekken 8. I mean, if you want to talk recency bias, I think a lot of people loved Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Like, I only saw good sentiment around it, but I don't know.
Tekken 8 did super well for like it was like so much better than people expected. People got into it from a competitive standpoint. I definitely think it's the winner there. Now we start getting to categories that are actually probably quite difficult. Got best RPG. I can't read I can read the description. Hold on. Hold the phone.
You're trying to read it off my screen, off my shared screen.
No, I can't. Now I'm opening up on my... For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. What's nice about this is that they are actually all role-playing games. Sometimes you just get action-adventure games just fucking thrown in
what
for
is
shits
this?
and giggles. We've got Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. This is weird because, like, technically, and this is not how the Game Awards works, the winner here should or the Game of the Year winner should win its like genre category.
Yeah, but
by definition, it doesn't. I don't think that's ever happened. So if picking the game here means I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year either.
Hectic.
So that's why I don't think Metaphor wins here.
Oh,
because I think it is
the
best RPG. I think Metaphor's in probably top 2 for recency bias, and that game reviewed critically
Very
well.
Yeah.
And it's got this sort of thing of like, what was the one last year? Baldur's Gate 3, where a lot of people that aren't into this sort of game are now into it. So I don't know, that we'll get to that, but I think. I think this is where either Elden Ring or Rebirth wins.
See, I'm of a different opinion because I'm looking at it going, I loved Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay, but in terms of like actual role playing and like getting to choose how your characters play, like it's limited. Like you can do materia, and like tweak your party composition. So I'm like, nah, an RPG maybe.
It's far less of an RPG than actual Final Fantasy VII.
So if I get into the nitty gritty, but then I think Elden Ring, I'm like, yeah, Elden Ring's pretty like really good at that. You can do whatever, but I'm putting my vote on Metaphor here because, like I said in our discussions of it, it's like a peak RPG. There's so many classes, so many different synergies and combinations and whatever you can do. I mean,
yeah, I get where you're coming from. It might be too powerful of a like winner to be like, oh, it's not going to win its genre award. I see where you're coming from there.
I mean, whether that happens or not, yeah.
I'm going to go Final Fantasy.
How dare you?
Also, remember, 90 plus on Metacritic. Lots of people fucking love that game.
I love that game. I'm just thinking critically, like as RPGs, I'm like, it is an RPG, but it's not as RPG as these other ones.
I don't think a lot of people give a shit. Best action adventure. These two categories tilt me.
Best.
Because
so much.
What the fuck is an action adventure versus an action game?
I'm glad you asked.
Either of these could be interchanged.
The description is for the best action/adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
So that means only shooters are in best action game? Can't wait to see that.
I mean, now you're nominated. Is this mine or yours? Mine.
This is yours.
So nominees are Astrobots.
Cool.
Prince of Persia: The Last Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Those are all 5 very different games.
I can tell you what I really want to win here, and that's
Star Wars.
A game that I don't necessarily like, but Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, I think will not win anywhere else but here, and it deserves to win something, even though I didn't particularly... it's not that I didn't like it, I just didn't get like...
I think you just didn't get as
captured
into
by
it
like most people. Yeah.
I
feel like it's a game that if I go back to, I'll fucking love. But yeah,
it also came out in like January, so many people forgot about it.
That's I think the big negative here is that it could lose that. You could see Silent Hill win here just because like it's a good game. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily because it's good action adventure.
Astrobot for me feels like a bit of a random one here, but like
I agree.
It's like what you said. It's like, what is this category? It's so like vague and wide. Actually,
Star Wars Outlaws is not going to win here.
I would love Star Wars Outlaws to win, but I also don't think it's going to win. I think this is something that might go to The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know.
Hasn't been recognized.
So few people talk about that game. Like,
do you think it's Silent Hill 2? I don't look at Silent Hill 2 though and go, wow, what a great action adventure game. I go, what a great horror game.
I agree with you, but I do think it's the game that is on people's minds because like it just came out and it was way better than people expected it to be.
You know what? I'm going to go with...
I really want Prince of Persia to win, but I think it's going to be Silent Hill.
I'm going to vote Prince of Persia. I actually, on the sheets, I initially had Star Wars Outlaws because I do think it's like that game has like more of an appreciation outside of the, the commentary on social media. But then I'm like... I'm like, is that
But
just
the commentary
our
on social
Discord?
media is a lot of critics, and they're the
Yeah.
ones who vote for this. So yeah, I
And
don't know. That
voting
thing did
Prince
not do
Persia.
critically well at all.
No.
I hope it's Prince Persia. I really do. I do think. Yeah, we'll see. Best action game. Yeah, sure. What's different about this? Oh shit, I went to the wrong.
This one
page.
that has no traversal. This is for the best
Yeah,
game in the
zero
action genre,
traversal.
focused primarily on combat. That's
Yeah.
the description.
I definitely didn't vault over cover or dive in Helldivers 2 or jetpack my way up things in Warhammer. No traversal.
Stellar Blade. I
Boots on
jumped.
the fucking ground.
Yeah.
That's it. Speaking of boots on the ground, nominees: Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2.
This is also a tricky category though, because like my gut, I would love Helldivers 2 to win. I'd love Stellar Blade to win because I've played them both. I think they're both great action games. Even Call of Duty, like, I love the campaign. Haven't played enough multiplayer, but I know Black Myth Wukong, a lot of people love it, and it is a good action game. And same with Warhammer.
Yeah, these are all strong games. Firstly, and I agree with you. I think you again like getting into the mentality of, is this the category where a game that wouldn't necessarily win anywhere else will get its laurels? You know, like a Stellar Blade would kind of make sense here.
Yeah.
But I also think Stellar Blade feels like a lot of people who played it are like, this game is really good, but I think a lot of people, especially from a critic standpoint, didn't give it the time of day.
And it is a good game. Would recommend. I don't know. I think this could mean nothing, but my gut feeling is saying Helldivers 2. But maybe that's because I hope Helldivers 2 wins. Just again as like this little underdog of a game that did way better than anyone thought it would do. I don't know. I'm voting.
I think out of these 5, I would want Helldivers to win. I think Black Myth is going to win.
I'm also voting Black Myth.
Yeah. The fact that it appeared on Game of the Year means it got a lot of votes somewhere, and I think this is where that's going to win. So, yeah.
Okay, so the next one is when my site decides to load.
Best VR and
best
AR.
VR AR. So for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, respective.
All of these are VR. What the fuck is that talking about? God.
The nominees are Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening.
I can tell you the only game from this list that I actually heard people talk about.
Was it Batman?
Yep, that is my vote.
I'm also voting Batman.
There is not a single other one there that I've actually heard people say was good or that they played or whatever. Best mobile game. Sorry, I'm very slow here. For the best game playable on a mobile device. Interesting one here because there's games here that aren't exclusive to mobile, so we'll get there. AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game, Pocket, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero. Now, Zenless Zone Zero and Balatro you can play on consoles. I think Wuthering Waves as well. Pokemon TCG, I don't think wins here.
No.
Like, really fun game, really fun collectible card game. It is not like a premier mobile experience.
I agree.
I want to say Balatro is the best out of this list, but I also know that like Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero, like those big games overseas, a lot of people only play these games. You know, Hoyoverse is like your Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail and stuff. So,
I'll vote.
I'm gonna go.
I'm going Zenless Zone Zero.
I was gonna say I'll probably go that way too, but
and then I just jumped the gun.
I think if Balatra's going to win anyway, it's going to be here. So I'm going to say Balatra.
No. Balatra will win elsewhere, don't you worry.
Oh shit, it will. No, sorry, I take it back. Wuthering Waves. Never mind.
Talk about leading the witness,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you want to talk about categories. Here we go. Best debut.
Yeah, I just saw that pop up next. I was like, nope, I take it back.
For the best debut game created by a new independent studio, we have Animal Wall, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire.
All very good games.
Very good.
You know,
I still want to play Animal World. Not played it
Same.
yet.
Like Animal World is like a game from this year that just passed me by, but I absolutely want to get to it because it seems like my shit. Manor Lord's also just like massive on Steam. I think Pacific Drive and Plucky Squire 2 that are like good indie games, but didn't really hold that much conversation. But I think the one that wins here is Balatro. Like,
I've also got
no
Balatro,
other
yeah.
game made the impact that it did this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 100%.
I've got to go back to it, man. I played it so much when it launched, and then
So
I should
fucking
grab
good.
it on mobile.
Yes, it's $200 on the iStore. You can play it on
Shouldn't.
your iPad, on your phone.
Should not.
When you're
play.
taking a poop, you can play a whole round of Balatro. It's fantastic.
Good
so
God.
good.
See, now this is funny.
Best independent game. So indie games, including ones made by studios that have been around for a while. So we've got Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Never, and UFO 50. Now, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes is a game I absolutely want to get back to as well. I don't think it wins you just because it's such a hard puzzle game, apparently. Like, it is really demanding, really expects you to take notes and dive deep into it. And so I just don't think a lot of people, A, played it, or B, finished it. So I don't think that wins here. I think Balatro could win here again, honestly.
So I fucked up. Looking at my sheets, I actually, for best debut in this as well, for best debut indie game, I said Animal Well, actually, because I think Balatro will win the best indie game. That's my logic. It is that bias of like,
I get you.
If you're a judge, you go, okay, well, I want Balatro to win here, but I also want something else to win somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So,
I get you.
I'm saying Balatro for this year, but Animal Well, I'll go back and change my vote. Animal Well for the best debut indie game.
I'm going to keep Balatro's best debut because I think it just did make a splash as a debut game. I think I'm also going to put Balatro. I know that's not going to happen, though. I know that's not going to happen.
It'll never win back to back. I mean, I'm sure it has happened. But you never know.
Animal Well. I'm going to go UFO 50.
Yeah, I still need to get to that.
Developer of Splunky and a lot of other devs. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. So I think I might lose that one, but UFO 50 sounds like the best one if it's not Balatro.
I mean, it's 50 games in one.
It's true.
What more do you want? What is
this? Also another weird category, I find.
Best community support. So recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates/patches. Your nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
I know my winner.
Who's your winner?
No Man's Sky.
No, it's I also want to say No Man's Sky, but then I remember that it also includes like social media. And not to say that No Man's Sky doesn't do social media, but Helldivers for me is the one where on social media they were like, the social media became the game as well. It's like you go to social media like, oh, the bugs are invading this planet. You log into your game and it is like there's a mission on that planet. So I'm giving them.
I feel like that was only a thing that happened in the first like 2 months of it coming out, and then they were in like damage control with like some patches not hitting well with players and this and that. So I just feel like I haven't seen that on social media at all in the past 6 months. So
we'll
see.
You can take your recency bias and
No Man's Sky put out like 3 fucking expansions this year. It's insane.
This year, damn.
Yeah.
What a redemption that game is. Okay. Next category is... See, it's funny because this is kind of similar.
Yes, I agree.
I think this is yours. I could be wrong.
Best ongoing game. Awarded to the game for outstanding development for an ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Weird that No Man's Sky is not on here. Okay. Destiny 2. Fuck, sure. Okay. Diablo 4. Final Fantasy 14. Fortnite. Helldivers 2. I think this is where Helldivers wins.
You think?
I could see Diablo winning, but I think this is where Helldivers wins.
I don't know. It's I always
could be fucking Fortnite as well.
I fall into this trap every year because I go, man, Fortnite is just churning out that content all the time, and it's always like really good. There's collabs and there's new weapons and there's new maps, and I think I vote for Fortnite every year, and I don't know if Fortnite's ever won this category. Maybe like once or
I
twice.
don't think they have.
This is the year I'm voting Fortnite.
I've gone Helldivers too. I think this is where it wins.
Oh God.
Games for impact.
For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, your nominees are Close. Is that Closer the Distance? Closer the Distance. Closer the Distance.
Closer the Distance.
Indica, Never, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zao. I've only played Hellblade 2 on this game, in this category. And it's a tricky one because I think a lot of these games are very good. Like I still want to play Never, it looks gorgeous. Life is Strange, I know a lot of people have played and loved that. Have you seen Indica? Have you watched the trailer for Indica?
I have, and
I've seen that
gameplay.
game?
It's fucking weird, man. It
Like,
is so
what is
weird.
that
It's like weird and interesting at the same time. I kind of want to try it out, but I don't think it wins here.
Yeah,
I think-
thinking mainstream here. It's between Life is Strange or Hellblade.
I think Hellblade got such a bad rap.
You think
Like,
so?
It critically like bombed so hard. I just don't. I'm going with Never.
Never. Damn it. I'm gonna go with Life is Strange.
I think that could win.
I mean, Never looks great. That's the same people who made Gree.
Yeah. Same people. Also just came out, so
Yeah.
recency bias and all
recency
that.
bias.
Innovation and accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. We've got Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age, The Veil Guard, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws. Now, I haven't really kept up with some of the cool ways that a lot of these games are becoming a lot more inclusive. I think because a lot of games have so many cool features now, it's less of a standout and more just of a standard, which is great to see. But there's definitely games that still go above and beyond in that certain regard. I'm not entirely sure which one of these. I seem to recall like one of these having like a shit ton of visual modes, audio modes, but I can't recall. I don't think it's Diablo.
No.
I don't think it's Diablo. Call of Duty sounds right.
Call of Duty might be right.
Dragon Age, I think, had a lot. I'm going to go Dragon Age.
Do you think Star Wars Outlaws is just excluded here? Why do you not say Diablo out of interest?
I don't think it has a lot of
Because I'm with you.
accessible ways to play that game.
I can't think off the top of my head, but I do think, like, and it's not fair to say this because, I mean, I know it's Microsoft owned, but it's not a Microsoft studio, like, in the sense that a Forza studio is. But I think Forza won last year, and for the Forza games do typically do quite well in accessibility. Now, my big brain's thinking, did they go, hey, Diablo team, let us help you sort out your accessibility or not? Because we're under the same umbrella.
Maybe.
I don't know. I voted Diablo because the reality is that I don't actually know enough about
this is a guess for me as well. I'm not entirely sure. Diablo 4 best performance.
Damn. Mine or yours? I don't know. Mine.
It's yours.
So awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. So we have Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannatella for Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2, and Melina Jurgen for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I mean, I know who I want to win in this category, and that is Brianna White for Aerith in Final Fantasy. So
I think she is going to win.
I think great voice actress. Like, I also think back to Remake, just watching her reaction to people reacting to her acting, and it was just
like the video of her hearing Aerith for the first time in the game, like
super wholesome.
Very, very cool.
And I think that's a great character, but again, there's a bias there in that like I love Final Fantasy. I know those games so well. But I mean, can I tell you, I wouldn't mind if Humbly Gonzalez won for Star Wars Outlaws, because I thought she was a great character. Like I thought she owned that role as well. But my vote is going to go ultimately with Brianna White.
I'm going to split it, even though I think Brianna White probably will win. I think the person that should, I think all of these performances are good. I think the one that should win is Melina Jurgens, just because of the incredible facial capture and like expression that she gives for the role. It's not just voice. It's like full on. Every facet of her is like brought into that performance. And, you know, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 didn't really hit critically. But I think one thing that can't be understated is just the performance in the game. So, yeah, I'll go Melina Jurgens.
This is yours.
Getting to the tail end here. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. We've got Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Now, I initially went Senua's Saga here because, like...
That's where I went.
It's got a lot of that binaural audio. It's got lots of, like, again, one of the strongest aspects of this game. I'm going to change my vote to Silent Hill 2, just because I think that game captures a lot of sound and atmosphere through audio alone. And I think a lot more people look favorably on that game more than Senua's Saga. So I'm going to change that.
What's
to
wild
Silent
is
Hill
that
2.
I think who often wins this category is Call of Duty.
Yes, because they do
good
do
sound,
a really good job with that.
And then like you could make a case for Astrobot as well, like great
I
sound
think so
effect.
too as well.
But
the way it integrates it with the controller, very cool.
But this is like, for me, I know Hellblade didn't review well critically, but this for me is like where it gets the nod of like, you know, audio is one of its strong things. So I'm going for that.
I can see that, given that you gave Brianna White best performance. Yeah, this is where
I'm the dude reviewing you, going, you know, let me just give a little wink and a nod to Hellblade over here.
No, fair.
But like there are hundreds or thousands of other people, you know, voting on.
I get it.
Next category, this one: best score and music for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack. Nominees are Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. Let me tell you, there are a lot of these are great nominees, because like I don't think Stellar Blade will win it, okay, because I don't think it's as strong as others, but Stellar Blade has a really good soundtrack. Like
it does.
I was very surprised playing the game, going like, shit, the audio and the music in this game is way better than I thought it would be. Astrobot, man, best original earworms. I mean, it took a lot from Astro's Playroom, like just made things bigger and better. But then for me, the two are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Metaphor. Like those are just peak. But I ultimately fall on Final Fantasy VII because of that thing with like remake. They take all the nostalgia from the original game and they like remix soundtracks, bring them together in such interesting ways. And the soundtrack's like, I don't know, like 10 hours long or something stupid. Like there's a lot of music in that game. So
no, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Rebirth. I think Metaphor has a outstanding soundtrack,
really
but
good.
like it's so expected from the same composers as Persona. Astrobot was weird. I expected us to like Astrobots a lot more, but I feel like I latched onto a lot more songs from Astro's Playroom than this one. Yeah, but I think irrespective, I think Rebirth is definitely the one that's going to win, for sure.
The thing with Metaphor is that the music's good, but like when as you start playing more and more of the game, you realize like there's a theme for this city, there's a theme for this dungeon, and you know it's repeated a lot, and not in a bad way. With Final Fantasy, it's like every single room or area has like its own unique track, and like even some tracks change based on like how many side quests you've done in that area and stuff. So there's just like an excessive amount of effort that went into that.
And it's just the nostalgia play as well. Yeah. There's like a lot of people who know those tracks, and the way that they are remixed and remastered is just phenomenal. Yeah. So no, I'm in full agreement there. Best art direction for outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. We have Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Never. This is a difficult one because I think it depends on previous picks and what you think is going to win, because I feel like if you don't think Metaphor wins Best RPG or Game of the Year, it has to win something.
Yeah.
And I think this is where it would likely win then. But if you think it's going to win elsewhere, I think this is where Shadow of the Erdtree wins.
Yeah.
Because of just like the incredible vistas and like...
Yeah. But also there's another very similar category. So this is Best Art Direction. We're going to get to Best Game Direction, which I know they're two different things, but there is like a bit of overlap with some of the, criteria, I would argue. For this one, though, for Best Art Direction, I think I went with Metaphor. Like, as much as I love Elden Ring, and it is like those vistas are unreal. You like walk over a hill and it's framed like perfectly. It's next level detail. But I've not played Persona or any other Atlas games, and I've always known that they are stylish and stylistic. I look at Metaphor, I'm like, damn, it's just such flair. It's
style.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, like, even Lenska was watching me play the other day. She's like, do you not find that you are distracting? There's so much going on.
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot
I'm
happening
like, it's a
on
lot,
that
but
game
I love
all
it.
the time. It's so good. It's so even just the whole end of battle screen there is like fucking zoom outs and zoom ins and things flashing on the screen. It's like overbearing in the best way. It's great.
I'm there. I'm voting Metaphor for that.
I could see
reason.
Black Myth winning here just because it's like technically beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bit of a pity Astrobot likely won't win. I think I'm going to stick with Shadow of the Erdtree. I think this is where it wins.
I think it's a pity that neither of us have played Black Myth. It's a game I just never got around to.
True. And it's a game I think both of us would enjoy.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's a holiday game. This category. Me, best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga Hellblade, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
It's between two games here for me, I think.
Who are your two?
Well, okay, not from a personal standpoint, but I think it's either going to be Rebirth or Metaphor.
Okay,
like
same.
I don't see either of the others holding a candle to the... I'm going to go Metaphor just because I think the pacing of Final Fantasy's narrative is ridiculous.
Can I tell you, as much as I love Final Fantasy, it is like nonsense sometimes. It's like eye rolling, like, oh my god, I can't believe you've done this. I'm doing Metaphor as well because I just think it's that classic RPG that, it's political, the characters have good motives, it's other, and I think it's told very well. So I'm also voting for Metaphor.
I also think that a lot of people were irked by Rebirth's ending.
I
think that would factor in as well.
Remake and Rebirth, both endings have people going like, huh? Like, what?
Yeah.
It's funny though, because again, like, I love Rebirth. It's a game made for me, but I can acknowledge its flaws.
Yeah. Second last category, Best Game Direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. We have Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy Rebirth. How the fuck does Metaphor not feature on this list? I do not understand that.
Best Game Direction.
Yeah.
It is there.
I just don't...
It's there.
It is there. Fuck, sorry. My screen was so tiny.
I was like,
I had to scroll. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's there.
Sorry,
it's there.
Geoff Keighley. Please do not come for me. Metaphor ReFantazio is your last.
Yes, you were about it. I should have just let you throw it down. I'm like, no, it's there.
Jesus. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, this is
tough.
See, so this is where the 9000 IQ comes in, because I gave Best Art Direction to Metaphor. This is where I go Elden Ring, Best Game Direction. In terms of like how this expansion just slots into the base game, and how they've integrated like a separate leveling system, quote unquote, that, so you can come into this expansion area like early or late, and it's sort of, there's a whole separate system in place to like make sure you can just pick up and get in. And I
Yeah.
just think in how it expands some of the bosses in the story of the base game, how just fills in some of the gaps. It's still Elden Ring, and there's nothing quite definitive for the most part. But yeah, I'm going with Elden Ring for that.
Makes sense. I think if I hadn't put it for best visuals or technical, whatever. So I gave best action game to Black Myth, so I think that's where it would win. I'm gonna go a very left field choice here and say Astrobot.
Can't even
I
be
just
mad at
think
that.
a lot of its levels are tight. A lot of them are really well thought out.
Yeah.
Good pacing, good everything. I just think it wins here as opposed to Game of the Year.
Yeah. Looking at my voting here, I'm like, I've given Final Fantasy only best soundtrack, which is blows my
I
mind.
think I'm the same.
I've given Metaphor 1, 2. I think I've chosen Metaphor 3 times, and for best RPG. I'm so sorry, Final Fantasy.
Oh, you see, I gave Final Fantasy best RPG.
Oh well.
4D
Okay.
chess, my man.
For the final prediction, game of the year. See, this is a tough one. So, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantasio. Now, I could be completely wrong, but as of recording, my gut is just leaning towards Astrobot because to me, like, this is again the 9,000 IQ thing. You get into the head of the reviewer, and I think on this list, like we've mentioned, Balatro is really good, love it, but I think there are some people who picked up and like, I just don't get it. Like, what is the appeal here? And it's the same with the likes of like an Elden Ring. Like maybe it's too challenging. That's it. Sekiro won a couple years ago, and Elden Ring has won before, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Elden Ring won
2-3
the
years
year
ago.
it came out.
Yeah. But then I don't know. I think Final Fantasy VII's like you're either a fan or you're not. In Metaphor, it's like some people probably looked at it and were like, nah, I don't want to play a JRPG. Astrobot to me is like the most accessible game that anyone can pick up and play on this list. Will that make it the winner? Probably not. But I'd love for it to win. I think it deserves a big accolade.
I get what you're saying, and like Astrobot is definitely on like my top 3 of the year. So I could see it. Yeah, I would love for Balatro to win, just because it's like so left field from all of these games. It came out of nowhere. It became the sensation. I just don't think it wins here. Not because it doesn't deserve it, but yeah. Elden Ring definitely won 2022 because that was when that kid came on stage and started talking about fucking Bill Clinton. Remember? And everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this person who just walked on stage with Miyazaki and all of that?" Wow.
I'm only laughing because it was just the most unexpected thing.
It was so wild. It was just, I think what irritates me is I can see Black Myth winning here just for, I don't even know why it's nominated here. Like, critically, the lowest rated game out of all of these by some margin. It is the only game here that's not in the 90s, and even then, it's like low 80s. So I just don't get how it's here. I think Metaphor wins this. I think it's a recency bias thing. It's so many people got into it. It's what people are talking about. I put my vote to Metaphor here.
Damn. Well, we'll see. This will be one of those hindsight things where I look back and go, damn, why did I not vote Metaphor? It was so obvious. What was I thinking? Look, I could change my mind during the week. But as of recording...
That's not how this works. You're locked in now.
Whatever, man. I can flip my votes how I want.
There is audio and video evidence of you making these choices.
Who hits publish in the final episode? This guy.
Wow. You're just going to go edit
I'll just
on your audio,
edit,
so every time you give an answer,
my
it will
game
just
of
be
the
like...
year is, and it's like a robotic voice, like Elden Ring, Shadow of the...
Yeah.
It's seamlessly edited in.
I can do it too. I've got access.
No, whatever, man. We could just sit and
watch
edit
back.
and
The
forth.
whole episode is just robo voices of us going over every nominee.
Just vote like Black Myth for everything.
Oh my god.
Best game
That
for
is
best ongoing community support. Black Myth, Wukong. It's not even a nominee. I have the power.
Best family game, Black Myth Wukong.
Best VR game, Black. What is going on?
Yeah, that's our
Okay.
annual TGA predictions. I really enjoy doing this, even if, it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but it's just fun
It's
for a little
fun,
bit
yeah.
of competition. And the award ceremony is always usually pretty good. Like Geoff Keighley puts on a good show. It's probably too long, but I'm expecting a lot of announcements and a lot of discourse over some of the winners. That's always the case. So it'll be fun to see. Again, it is on in South Africa Monday morning, 2:30 a.m. In the UK, it is just after midnight. It's the evening of Thursday, that is the 12th in
12th, yeah.
Los Angeles. So yeah, excited to see it. I'm hoping for some. What's your one big reveal that could blow the roof off there? That you think could or could not happen?
What is it? One game. I'm blanking out now, but there's one game where I would not be
GTA
surprised.
6, yes. GTA 6, yes.
No, not even GTA 6.
Definitely won't be there.
It's like it would be a good Silk Song moment, but it's but I also think this is hilarious because Bloodborne fans are something else. But that PlayStation 30th anniversary trailer, it's like, oh, it ends on Bloodborne. Like PlayStation acknowledged it. I would love just a Bloodborne remaster, even just a patch to be announced. And Geoff Keighley would be the homie to do it. Like, I can finally say that Bloodborne remastered, or there's a patch. So like whatever it is, like some Bloodborne news. Elden Ring out the way, and they've said Elden Ring 2 is not the next sequel they're working on. So
I would love it. I don't think it's happening purely because a lot of insiders are like, please do not read into this. Nothing is happening.
I will read into it.
I think we'll get another FromSoft announcement. I don't think it'll be Bloodborne, but maybe their next game. I think the thing that, I'm looking at you being like, Bloodborne, psh, don't be ridiculous. Silksong, don't be ridiculous. You know what I think appears here, which is nuts, just based off what has been happening recently, is something to do with Half-Life.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
that is a big thing.
100%, yeah. Sorry, I'm there with you. Yeah,
I think something Half-Life happens.
Half-Life 3, or even just a teaser of a something.
Just something. Like, Valve definitely doesn't have to do it. I mean, they announced Half-Life Alyx literally in the middle of a day, fucking randomly. But you take into account the documentary, the update to Half-Life 2, all of these things being data mined regarding Half-Life 3 and new Steam hardware. What better way to launch like a new Steam controller or a new Steam PC console thingy than with Half-Life?
New Steam Deck next year.
New Steam Deck. Yeah. Who knows? I think something Half-Life gets teased here.
Yeah, sure. And I still think. I mean, I still have to watch that documentary, and I know like why Half-Life 3 never happened is because they just didn't know how to make it bigger and better, to
pretty much,
put it, pretty
and they pivoted to Left 4 Dead as well.
But to me, the most obvious thing has always been, because Portal exists in the same world. It's like give Gordon Freeman a portal gun to some capacity, and put that in the Half-Life with the gravity gun, just the weapons he has with a portal gun for puzzle solving. That to me is just it's obvious.
And it would be awesome because
maybe they've tried it and it just doesn't work well. But I mean,
it's also true. Yeah, I don't think that someone at Valve never had this idea and didn't try and prototype it. It was just when Episode 3 was being, prototyped. I mean, it's in the documentary, but Portal hadn't come out then. And so they were prototyping with other ideas, but hadn't got to that. I don't know.
Don't minimize the impact of my words. There's a Half-Life dev listing now going guys.
I've got it.
I just had the
fucking
idea.
Gabe Newell. I was like, oh my god, genius.
I don't know what to think of this. No, but to me, it still seems like the obvious evolution of that game. I mean, did you play Prey? Not Bethesda's Prey, like the OG Prey back in the day. Prey.
I think we had this discussion in the last episode that you said it had a lot of elements from like Portal.
You couldn't shoot portals, but that game had like portal technology. We like ran through portals, and it was like mind bending. Like you ran through a portal and you're upside down. I'm like, just that was a great game. And I put that in Half-Life where you can actually place the portals. So
yeah, and I mean, Half-Life Alyx revisits the ending of episode 2 and like makes fundamental changes that kind of tease what a Half-Life 3 could be. It seems so ridiculous to me that Valve would do something like that and not have the plans to continue that. Yeah. Then again, they left Half-Life 2 episode 2 on a fucking huge cliffhanger and then just never addressed it. So they might just do that. And Gabe Newell actually says in the documentary, he's like, making a game just for the purposes of continuing a story is basically, he's like, that's dumb. Why would we do that? And that's their mentality. They're like, the game doesn't need to come out just to finish the story. That's not what they're there for. So we'll see.
It is funny though. Like, okay, we're going to end this episode now because we actually have to record something else for the end of the day. But it is like, I take, no pun intended, I take my hats off to them because like, to me, it seems like a no-brainer. Like you could print money with the Half-Life 3. Not that Valve needs money. They sell hats.
No.
So many hats.
Lots of them. They've actually just charged your account £5 for saying hats.
They're like, you took your hat off. We sent you another one. That'll be £5. But yeah,
you cannot trade this on Steam Workshop.
To me, it just feels like they could launch. It could be a garbage game, and people would still buy it.
No, I agree. I think that would be a gigantic game. I think now you've got like Steam Deck, you've got consoles, you can put it out on everything.
Oh my god, Half-Life 3 limited edition Steam Deck.
Ooh, and like
orange,
made to look like orange, yes, like the machine.
Okay, that one Half-Life dev that's listening here, just credit me for all these brilliant ideas. Portal 2 and Half-Life 3, orange OLED Steam Deck. You're welcome.
One guy's walking into Gabe Newell's office on Monday and getting the biggest fucking promotion of his life with all these new ideas.
I'm gonna add Gabe on Twitter, be like, hey, that was my idea.
He's too busy diving with sharks off the coast of Cape Town to get to your...
Then he opens up this episode like, oh, I'll see you with my own eyes, and it's just like robot voices. Like, these people are a joke. Like replacing the robot voices. Yeah, like come on. Good lord. Okay.
That's episode 262. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoy this awesome season of Game of the Year and the Game Awards. It's really fun, lots of excitement that helps us like prepare for the new year. So let us know your predictions. Let us know which the ones that you think we got completely wrong. We'd love to hear what you think the Game of the Year will be at the TGAs, and then maybe your own personal Game of the Year. But we'll be back next week with our Game of the Year nominees, contenders, winners, all of that good stuff in our own top 5 lists and some fun categories we've put together for this year. So we shall see you next week. Have a great week going forward, and we'll chat soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.